Hello and welcome to our March 1997 Alumni Spotlight Series. It is with great pleasure that we gather today to celebrate the remarkable journeys and achievements of our alumni. This series is one of the many ways the College Track Alumni Program facilitates opportunities for intergenerational connections and legacy building. I am delighted to introduce to you College Track Oakland alumna Tiffany Wong and College Track Watts alumnus Manuel Gonzalez. Sit back and enjoy the conversation.
Hi, before we get started, we just like to introduce ourselves. I'm Tiffany. I graduated from Oakland College Track site in 2017, and I went to Skyline High School in Oakland, and I graduated from UPenn in 2021 during the pandemic, and now I work at Citibank in New York City. Manny?
Hello, my name is Manuel Gonzalez. I go by Manny. I'm a proud alum from College Track Watts, class of 2019. I'm a recent grad too for the University of California, Santa Barbara, where I majored in sociology and educational studies. And my current role, I work for Cape SoCal Public Schools, where I serve as the student enrollment and recruitment ambassador. So I'm really happy to be here today.
We just like to get started by kind of sharing our college track experience and what was that like, especially since we came from two different sites, as well as our college experience. So Manny, how was CT Watt site like, and when did you join, and how did it help you with college?
Well, for me, I didn't know about College Track all the way until my junior year. I feel like I tell that to everybody. I feel like I'm a special case when it comes to, because I know a lot of people come in to College Track their freshman year. At the time, the first class, I was going to stay an extra year because I needed credits. I had just graduated from El Salvador, and I happened to be friends with two of the current students from the site, and they pretty much they referred me to the program. I was able to land an interview, and yeah, thankfully, I was accepted to the program. I was able to do the summer transition program, and yeah, even though I was only there 1 year, I wish I was there longer. I just didn't know about it before, because it was a lot of, for me, which was a lot of work, school. So I didn't really have the chance, and I was really quiet by then. So yeah, I feel like College Track did help me a lot. Um, high school that year that I needed, I feel like helped the most. It was my senior year, and then even going to college, transition into college, and even now that I'm graduating, they still helping me out. So really happy for that. How about you? How was your experience with College Track?
It's been great. I joined my freshman year of high school, or I guess the summer right before then, and thankfully, my two older brothers did college track as well. So that's kind of how I found out. It just kind of runs in the family, and I do agree, college track was very helpful in the sense that it helped us get ready to make a competitive, holistic profile for ourselves to apply to competitive colleges, and also get the idea of like the sticker price of these colleges out of our heads and make sure like we know we can apply to these schools, no matter how much it may seem on the sticker price, because in actuality with financial aid, scholarships, and grants, we'll be able to afford whatever college we want to go to. And then, like you said, you were able to join your junior and senior year. I think that was the really crucial part. Freshman and sophomore year is like great because we're building our profile, but applying to colleges, that was the stressful and like complicated part. Like, how do you do your FAFSA? How many, like the Common App, the UC apps, there's so many different portals. How do you keep track, and like which schools can you apply to, and do you apply to safety schools and target schools? As well as in college, definitely having our college advisor keeping track of us and like making sure we're okay. That was very helpful. And like you said, now College Track is still helping us, just giving us opportunities to connect and just continue the legacy. Manny, what was your favorite part about College Track, in college or in high school, or like even now?
Oh, my favorite part. Oh, right. That's really hard. I would say my favorite part about College Track. Um, I would change favorite, but I feel like the part like I'm most grateful for I would say the support, beginning to end. Um, as you said, applying to colleges. For me, it's like, oh yeah, I want to go to college. I'm doing my best with doing with my classes. Getting the best grades I can get. But then applying to colleges, I feel like it's a whole different game. For me, like I didn't really know what was like, applying, what's transition like. So I feel like having somebody who was always next to me, guiding me through the process. I knew that I'm grateful that I didn't have to go through that alone. And there was a lot of things I didn't understand, how financially works for me, because of my status at the time. I needed to file the Dream Act. I just didn't know how that was going to be. So yeah, I feel like that support. I feel like that was like I kind of like the game changer for me. Transitioning to for that. But yeah, how about you? What was your best, or yeah, what's like your favorite memory from college track?
I think I agree. There's too many, but if I had to pick a few to highlight, definitely I'm like very grateful for so many different opportunities that came my way. Two, to speak, or I know during one of the summers I was looking for an internship that was a little hard for me. So I was able to find like Charles Schwab Intern Pro through College Track, where I got to do like shadowing at Charles Schwab, which was really cool, and as well as College Track Corporate Residency Program, where we got to visit different companies, and then through that to stay connected to the people we met there. And to this day, I'm connected to like a few people that I met during like one visit in the summer, which was really cool. That's more so on like the career path of College Track. I think little memories that make College Track felt like a family or like feels like a family to me is that uh, during school at UPenn, the student life director at College Track Oakland, Ashley Alston, she ended up doing her grad school at UPenn. So it was really nice just to see a familiar face that, I've seen Ashley throughout my high school years. And then college was a little lonely just because not as many people went out to the East Coast. I had my brother, which was really nice, but seeing like a College Track staff there, also being a student, just felt very homey. And then for graduation, we had Lorraine Powell Jobs as our speaker. And through that, my brother was there, was able to quickly like, oh, like there's CT alums here too, graduating, and like we're speaking, and that was like a really nice moment just to like make that connect. But it's just these little moments that like you don't think will happen, and it happens, and like kind of comes full circle.
Yeah, I mean, adding on to what you said, for me, like I went to UC Santa Barbara, and I was the only student who was going to go there, so I was really familiar with it. Thankfully, there were two staff at a time when I was in the site. They both happened to be UCSB alums, so even though they finished their time at UCSB, they were able to like prepare me at least, like what to expect, what to do, the do's and the don'ts. And yeah, I feel like having that through the experience, I was able to feel, I feel like you're never ready, but like you feel better to an extent, from what's coming next. Freshman year, a lot of excitement, a lot of uncertainty how it's gonna go. So yeah, really really glad, yeah, I was able to connect with them, and then them sharing their experience at UCSB. So it
Oh,
went a long way. Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. Just because different schools have their own systems and like different like tips and tricks. Luckily, I went to school with my brother, so like he was my like personal tips and trick advisor. Manny, how did you end up deciding what to study, and like what extracurricular stuff were you into when you were at UCSB?
I feel like it was um, a big journey of what I wanted to do since high school all the way to, I want to say, my second year. Um, During high school, I was part of a robotics team, the Terawatt, and I was able to took some exposure of what was it like. It was my first time like when it comes to robotics, so I was really excited. I had applied for mechanical engineering for all the schools that I applied, and I did get into UCSB, but I didn't get through engineering. I got through biology, so I gave biology a chance. Me trying to go into engineering. Um, and it was hard. Yes, it was my first quarter. I feel like um, I failed my first class right out like my first quarter, and I was devastated. From transitioning, it was my first quarter there, so thankfully I was able like to get a lot of support from college track. It was like, you know what, it's okay. Like, a lot of motivational uh, motivational moments that they gave me. We had a couple talks, and I was able to keep pushing forward. Um, then COVID-19 happened. I feel like he affected all of us, and for
Mhm.
me, it was just really hard for me to stay within that route for my major. For me, I wanted to graduate within 4 years because of my scholarship. I just didn't want to. Hopefully, I can get into that later. But because of my scholarship, so I needed to get my grades up. So my second year, beginning of second year, I was like, oh, what can I do? So I was looking for something to do, and I was able to be part of a nonprofit called Hermanos Unidos, and I serve as their academic chair. So I was the one connecting um, the students, the members, to different resources on campus.
Mhm.
And even though at some point I was also like, I guess, picking up the pace what college was like. I was always helping people, so it just felt nice. People come up to me for those resources, even though I might not know the answer. I know someone who would, so I would just refer them there. So I decided to go for the education, something along the lines, and then it brought me back to like what college track does. Um, Even though they weren't like strictly teaching, they would like provide me those resources.
Mhm.
If they didn't know, they would send me to somebody who knew the answers. So yeah, I'm staying with education. Looking forward for grad school. Hopefully next year. I'll be applying, still looking into programs. But yeah, I feel like it made me decide to go for sociology and education. So really happy with my decision. I'm happy where I'm working now. So yeah. Um,
Can you tell us a little bit about what you do now for work, and then how do you plan on using your master's or grad school degree in the future to further yourself in your career?
um, I'm currently my role is the student enrollment and recruitment ambassador. It's a brand new role for the organization. What I do, I have a portfolio of 4 schools. I'm really happy to serve the South LA area. We serve elementaries and middle schools. I do not um, I'm not directly with the students. Instead I be with the parents who either they're interested in applying, and some parents eh, they might not be tech savvy, so like they need a lot of help when it comes to like getting through the application process. What documents do you need? So I'm in charge of help out the registrars and the mini administration managers from for those 4 schools. So I'm able to make that transition easier for them, keeping track of like what documents they need. Some of them don't really know where to start, so I have to do the application with them over the phone. Either they come in person, and even now I go to one school each day, and I have people from other schools calling me, like, oh, I need help with this. So I'm really happy that the people come to me asking for help. So yeah, really, really happy I'm serving my community, and then hopefully for my masters, I'm still trying to see what I'm going to do. I see a couple programs, but yeah, so stay tuned for what I'm going to be doing masters. But yeah, um, so something I wanted to ask you. I know that you went to UPenn. I just wanted to ask like how the college track laid that foundation for you, at least for the 4 years for your undergrad. How was that like for you?
I definitely would say UPenn was it was a journey. It was grateful. I am grateful for the experience and the friends, everyone I've met. It was definitely hard. You do get a little of the imposter syndrome, like, oh, do I like really belong here? Why is everyone doing so well? And like they're not putting in a lot of effort, but they're doing so well. I'm like putting in all my effort and I'm like barely passing. That was kind of hard to adjust to. And actually, similar to what you said, Manny, my first psych exam I took, my first midterm. There's a rumor or like a tradition: don't step on the compass, or else you'll fail your first midterm. I stepped on the compass and I failed my first midterm. So I was like, oh darn, I failed my first midterm. Luckily, like I was able to like go to tutoring. I think College Track already had set that foundation like where we had tutoring after school, and it's like get help when you need it. So after I felt that midterm, I realized like, oh, apparently I don't know everything. So I built that habit freshman year, and that kind of carried on throughout the rest of my 4 years. And then I just built like study groups, and to this day, those are my very close friends. Since freshman year, we like plan our classes so we have the same class with each other all the way up into senior year, and like leverage my brother since like he went there, and like we have to take similar courses, so he gave me his tips and tricks. And also just speaking to our CT advisor every now and then, just to make sure like someone back home like knows we're okay. So that was really nice. And then post grad, actually during school, I was I think my first year I relied heavily on my brother and the two programs that I was a part of. They were like pre-NSO program. NSO is like new student orientation. So before school started, I was part of these two programs where I was on campus for a month and a week in advance, and those are where I met my like friends to this day, and those were my study group friend. And my brother, he was working on his startup then, InstaHub, and I was interested in marketing, so I was just helping him out with marketing, and it kind of led into my sophomore and junior year, where I just ended up doing trade shows with him, tried to get investors, and did a lot of pitch deck, which was really fun and helped me explore like different aspect of business since I was studying business. And then post grad, I realized I just wanted to explore different things, so I joined Citibank, where I was in the risk management program. So it's a 2-year rotational program, and I got to explore program management and chief of staff and what those team entails. And by the end of the program, I had to find my full-time role, and now I'm in underwriting for hedge funds, and that's definitely challenging and very insightful. I get to learn so many more things about like what a bank does at the end of the day, which is really cool. But I think like similar to you, where you're considering grad school and that's your next step. For me, I have a lot of friends. I'm about 3 years out from school now. I have a lot of friends who are either thinking like, what's their next step for work? Do they keep doing their day-to-day job and like climb the corporate ladder, so to say, or do they go to grad school? And even that itself is a whole new another challenge, because if I were to consider grad school, that's like, oh, how will I afford grad school? Like undergrad is slightly different, but yeah, just adult
I,
life is a little different.
I'm just very curious because for me, I went when I went to college. It was like a 2 hour, 2.5 if you catch traffic from home. At least for my college track, what size too. But I know you were a little far, for undergrad. So what did you do to stay grounded? I know you went to college. You have you knew the goal, but what was it like? What steps you would take to stay grounded of this is my mission. This is what I came for, and it seems like you're doing pretty good. So
To make sure like I finish college, or like now?
I would say finish college.
Um, I think for that one, it was hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sophomore year was really hard for me, and I think it was because a lot of people like talk about sophomore slump and all that. Like sophomore year hits you and you like take a tank. I think I went into school with a positive mindset, um, knowing that it's okay to like not to do the best all the time, but as long as you tried your best and did your best, and some of the results will show. I think that kind of got at me to like, that was my happiness tracker. I just wanted to make sure I was happy in college and doing well, versus not happy but like getting straight A's, because I don't think I would have enjoyed my college experience that way. And I think honestly a lot of my friends, and luckily my brother went to school. I went to school with him and we were roommates one year. So we kept each other accountable. we will book these study rooms for an hour and a half back to back. So now we have these study rooms for 3 hours, and we will study with each other until like we're tired. So that's kind of like he kept me accountable my first year, and then my friends kept me accountable the rest of the year. But it's also like, I think that's I really like that question just because when you get into college, it's like, okay, I'm here. What do I do now? How do I make sure I take the steps to finish and do what I want? And that was really hard. So when I said sophomore year was really hard for me, I was able to get my grades back up because I wanted to study abroad. And I know I needed to have like solid grades for me to make that happen. And then luckily I was able to study abroad in Hong Kong and travel there. That's kind of what kept me grounded. I don't know what kept you grounded, Manny, and if you were able to study abroad.
For me, like when it comes to abroad, I haven't had the chance to. As I said, when I came here 2016. Um, and I'm sorry right now. I'm still having my immigration case being resolved. I just applied for residency, so fingers crossed. Hopefully by the end of the year. It's gonna be a long year since I've been for this, so very grateful for everything. College Track helped me out actually for my when I was in high school. I had this immigration case, and I was the one paying it. I was taking on two jobs, for that paying rent and helping out family. I had to be on top of my grades, so yeah, College Track helped me out a lot. I feel like they took uh, a lot of weight from my shoulders. Big shout out to Darwin. He helped me out a lot. Um, Even in college, he got to a point where like I just needed that. Thankfully, now I have my work permit, and I'm really happy about that. So yeah, it's just pretty much that. Pretty much that. So once I get the green light, as I said, I'll be happy to be traveling. First off to the motherland. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, as I said, College Track, they did help out a lot. Not only academically, I feel like even until now, the staff,
Mhm.
a lot of them check up on me. So yeah, I think I see a question.
What will you tell upcoming college graduates about adulting? Oh, I like that question a lot. Manny, do you want to go for it?
Oh wow.
I can go
It's
too if
going
you
to
want some time to think.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. For I think similar to what I said, once you get into college, how do you finish college? You will feel the same exact way. Once you graduate college, you have a job, maybe like a few months in. What's the next step? You like in high school, like in 4 years, you see yourself in college. College in 4 to 6 years, you see yourself graduating and with a job. Now, like after graduating, it's like the rest of your life. So it's kind of hard because like there's no set path. The path becomes more wide and like open ended, and you kind of have to create a timeline. When do you want to go to grad school? When do you want to like pivot and stuff like that? I will say just be confident in yourself and have your board of advisors and mentors, friends and family that you can rely on and trust and value their opinion and advice. And, kind of condense and consolidate what you hear. But at the end of the day, it's your life. So trust your instinct and do what you think is best for you and for the people you care about. And when I say be confident, this ties more so like in the workforce, people don't talk about it as much as we should, but sometimes you might encounter uncomfortable situation. How do you go about it? And especially you're so like junior in your career and like young, sometimes you're like, oh, maybe I'm like reading too much into X, Y, and Z scenario. But trust your like gut instinct. If something's making you uncomfortable, speak up. Go to someone you could talk to, someone you trust, and like get their advice. That there's like lots of different aspects of adult life, but also like if you have the luxury, travel. Treat yourself. You work so hard, treat yourself and enjoy life because at the end of the day, you only have one life to live. Manny.
Yeah, I mean, adding on to everything that you have said, going back to like taking care of yourself. Um, I feel like your most valuable asset is right here. So take care of that first. Um, and then when it comes to same thing, college, it was a transition. Um, there were a couple of changes. Same thing when it comes to adulting. There's gonna be a couple of changes. You have to be willing to it. Um, be open minded about everything. I know there's things. Some things are gonna work out. Some things are not going to work out. So being able to to be flexible. Same thing. Don't be too hard on yourself. First off, you're graduating college. Congratulations on that. So reward yourself. And then when it comes to even applying to jobs, something that somebody told me when the college decisions came on, when I was a senior, um, it got to a point where like I didn't get into my dream school. I won't disclose which which one it was, but they said, oh, you know what, it's not a rejection, it's a right direction, and until this day it has helped me a lot. Even though there was this school I wanted to go, but I ended up going to UCSB. I'm really grateful. I ended up at UCSB for everything that I did, everything that happened, all the connections that I made. So yeah, be open minded. Your time will come. Just put in the work every day, and when you have the opportunity, just take it. So yeah.
I couldn't agree more with taking all the opportunities you have.
Um, I really, really enjoyed the dialogue. You all had some dynamic answers, dynamic questions as well. So I want to just extend my heartfelt gratitude to you, Tiffany and Manny, for reminding us that our journeys are powerful. Our voices are just as powerful. And I also want to thank everyone who was able to join us today. Stay tuned for more information about upcoming spotlights. And until next time, take care and stay connected. Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah.